Now
We're going live.
Yeah.
We'll go live.
We're
We'll
live.
go live.
We're
It's
good.
live. We're live.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We're live-ish.
We're live-ish. How you guys
Yesterday
been?
we were all Irish. Today we're live-ish.
Yeah, but no, see, what I did was I put my Irish hat on the day after St. Patrick's Day. That's how I roll. No?
Jay saw what I did yesterday in
That was the
in
best.
Testament.
That was the best stuff ever. So, Gabe, I walk over to Mike and I'm like, "You're not wearing green, dude." And he pulls a lime out of his pocket. And he goes, "Yes, I am."
It's like
You're wearing the lime?
no, I was wearing all black, so I was like, well, I guess it's St. Patrick's. I don't own anything green, so I just put a lime in my pocket. I'm like,
That's
all right.
great.
That was a good one.
I spot some green on Aaron's wall back there that I'm pretty jealous of.
He's got greens.
That powers.
No, those are the
those
greens.
Those
Oh,
are
not the
green.
TS, the TS 808s and TS 9s. I meant the green powers.
He knows.
That's
he
a-
understands.
that's a
what's
green
the greatest
guitar.
Pedal. The
Grain.
Greatest pedal of all time. It's the greatest pedal.
It's right
Come
up
in with
there.
the milk. All right. How about we go live? You want to go live?
We're live. We're here.
Oh, we did it. Oh,
Yeah.
Here we
Yep.
go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's episode 113. Mike, we did 113 things.
Yeah.
Can I just
No,
say-
I always have to correct you every time. We're doing the 113th thing.
Right.
When we're done, we did 112 things. We're in the process of the 113th.
The
But we got Aaron Dablow back.
We do.
Back on the show, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Dablow.
and
Aaron.
I
Let's
mean,
go.
honestly, you can't book a better guest than that, right?
Yes, you can. You can.
Everything's subjective.
Yeah,
Right.
everything's subjective. So, welcome everybody in the feed. Thanks for hanging out with us live. We're gonna have a good time. Rob, Joe, it's good to see you. Phil, Gabe, you're there already. Hi, nerds. John,
Here I am.
Patrick, Kevin, Evan Smith, Stan. Oh man, what's going good? Oh really? I like that person's name. Oh really? That's great. I love that.
Hey, Jay Smith is here. Hey, Jay.
My man.
Jay Smith is here.
Jay Smith is here.
Jay Smith is here. Hey Jay.
Jay Smith from Nash Vegas.
Oh, Nash Vegas. Tonight we're
Oh,
talking about
Rob
customs,
Seymour's here.
building your custom Taylor guitars. We're talking about customs, some of the guitars we've been working on, catch customs, custom select, all that kind of stuff. But for those of you who don't know the man up there in the corner, Aaron Dablow, I'm going to introduce you to him real quick, and then we're going to do a little segment of this or that, maybe some what are you listening to. But so we started this recently. Producer Jordan and Mike and I had this really good idea that we would ask ChatGPT, also known as Chad GPT, to write the intros for our guests. So, for you guys, without further ado, I'm going to read Aaron Dablow's Chad GPT intro, and here it goes.
Interesting.
Strap in, because Aaron Dablow is a rock star sales manager for the Americas at Taylor Guitars, and he's taking the world by storm. What? This is awesome. And he's taking the world by storm. He's got North and South America in his back pocket, juggling relationships with independent dealers, cooking up business business strategies hotter than guitar solos. What?
Cooking up business is my
Cooking
favorite.
up business and leading a crew of district sales managers who probably wear capes. Okay, we got two more paragraphs. Ready?
Whoa.
Before becoming a sales wizard, the sales wizard we know and love, Aaron was shredding his way through the music biz with Guitar Center in Dallas and Hollywood. Oh,
I have a
right.
feeling this is embellished by one Jordan Avnet.
No, it's not at all. This is what Chad wrote.
Shredding?
Shredding, yeah.
Shredding.
Think of him as the guitar guru of two epic cities. I see what Chad did there. All right, but wait. Aaron's got brains and brawn.
Braun. They brought Braun in. They brought Braun into this.
Okay, let me reread that.
I think it actually said he has brawny.
No, he didn't. He does have brawny.
He cleans up a lot of messes.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Okay,
He sure does for us.
Let me read that again. But wait, Aaron's got brains and brawn. He's rocking 2 bachelors of science degrees in marketing and computer information systems from Louisiana Tech University.
Let's go,
That's
Bulldogs.
right, folks. He's both a tech wizard and a marketing magician. Wait, I need that.
Chad GPT is my hype man.
It's like
Chat
Bro
GPT.
GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Golly.
this game.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking customs tonight with Aaron Dablow. That's what Chad had to say about you. Wait,
I appreciate Chad for the intro, and we'll probably go kick it and have a beverage later on.
Yeah.
time out. I just realized something. And just when you think it couldn't possibly get any cooler, Aaron goes full-on legend mode by showing up at the electric guitarist meetup at the Music Emporium to drop knowledge bombs alongside Andy Powers of Powers Electric Guitars. Basically, Aaron's out there turning every meetup into a guitar fiesta.
Wow.
Nevertheless.
Guitar
Guitar Fiesta.
Aaron Dablow.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like we should get official Primetime Guitar Fiesta shirts made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Guitar Fiesta.
Oh, it's not?
right,
Mike's
Chad.
not working?
You're a little quiet, Jay.
Your mic is it's like what happened last week when we were testing things out. It's actually not your SM7B.
Oh, it's not? So that whole
Oh,
thing.
Now it
That's
is.
so much better.
Oh, but okay, so I got to read the last paragraph then with this SM7B.
Well, we heard it, but
No.
If you could
so
just
when
say
you
Guitar
think of a
Fiesta.
person who can handle business, party with guitars, and wear a cape, metaphorically, of course, think of Aaron Dablow. The world's his stage, and we're all just lucky to be in the audience.
All right. So I want to know what setting he had this on, because when we did ours, it was nothing like that.
All you got to do is go
It's on the
write
hype
an
man
intro
setting.
about Aaron Dablow, and then you say from Taylor Guitars, and then you say make it a party.
Oh, well, all right. We need to make ours a party next week. then,
yeah, this is
'cause-
good.
Did Chad see
I
some
need
of
a
my?
redo.
Did he see some of my MySpace photos, circa like 05 to 08? Because that might be where this came
It
from.
did question a few things and said a lot of things were inappropriate to talk about, but other than that, Chad did his
This should-
job.
I think that should be your like LinkedIn bio profile now.
Just send it to me. I'll get Chad. That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, cool.
Thanks
Ladies
for
and
having me,
gentlemen-
though.
Thanks.
Well,
Ladies
welcome.
and gentlemen, Aaron Dablow is an absolute monster. This is a great. This is going to be a great show talking about custom guitars and all the like. So, how about this? Aaron's on. We haven't had him on in a while. Mike, would you do the honors to do a little quick segment of this or that with Aaron Dablow? Tell him the rules.
Oh, well, here's the rules.
One bite.
Yes. You have to choose one or the other. You can't say tie because I get yelled at for that, even though I still will not choose between Star Trek and Star Wars. I refuse to choose
Okay,
between
okay.
the two. All right.
Okay.
So these
Pineapple
are
on pizza.
rapid fire. You can give an explanation if you want. But I have 10 of these, and then there's a question at the end.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Ready? We start you off mild. Baseball or football?
Football.
Okay. Gibson Les Paul or Ibanez Gem?
Les Paul.
Wrong.
Single coil or humbucker?
Humbucker.
Right.
Now they start getting harder.
Okay.
Sleep Token or Deftones?
Deftones. Not hard.
New metal or hair metal?
And we're talking NU with an umlaut.
Yes.
Oh, I know how it's spelled, Jay. I know the proper punctuation as well. I'm gonna go NU double umlauts.
Two umlauts on the new metal. Okay. New Orleans or San Diego? I told you they're getting harder.
To live or to
New
It's-
Orleans
sorry.
or San Diego?
Dang it, San Diego. Sorry.
Okay.
He's got brains and brawn.
Yes. Brains or brawn?
Braun.
Okay. That'll be the 11th one. Jambalaya or gumbo?
Oh man, jambalaya.
Okay. Now this one's a little inside baseball. Fernies or bad hombres?
Fernies all day. No, no,
Yeah, all
no
day.
questions.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
Why'd you even put that there?
I want to know.
It's a good question.
Now this one
Solid.
is very, very inside baseball. Jelly helmet or Kanye Asada?
Jelly helmet all the way.
Okay. And finally, there is one question. What happens when you try to walk on the Deftones stage?
I don't know. Ask Jay Parkin.
It's a closed
That's
stage.
too inside
right
baseball, right?
It's
right.
a closed stage right now.
Oh, we
man.
could tell
we
that
explain
story.
that story?
It's G-rated.
So the first one though, you got to explain Jelly Helmet or Kanye Asada. All right. So I travel, per ChatGPT, I travel with my 5 or 6 sales managers, around the country and around the globe, and we spend a lot of time in cars, right? And so we're also salespeople, so we're always talking, and so it just gets dumb. And Mike and I think we had our 4th hour through somewhere in random Massachusetts, and we started coming up with random band names, and those were 2 of them that came up. And now I think we have about 40 band names that are really. Oh, we were outside of Manchester, New Hampshire when that started. Yep,
Yeah.
because
Now we have about 140 names now. It's taken on a life of its own.
But Kanye Asada is great, right?
Yes.
That's like that's a
That's
really
a-
good one. So
That's a good
At
one.
what point does Kanye Asada change their name to Ye Asada?
after the Adidas
them?
sponsorship gets dropped, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
True.
Okay. Cool. It can't afford the rest of the name. I get it.
Is Fernie's the taco joint down the road?
Yeah, so it's San Diego, home of Southern California, but mostly San Diego is a home of like the best Mexican burritos, Mexican food burritos,
Yeah,
right?
the burrito
And
place that we go all the
burritos.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I haven't had one in quite some time, but that to me is my favorite in San Diego County, and it's
Fernie's,
really close to our factory. Yeah,
Fernie's. It's right next to the crematorium. You know,
Yeah.
it's good
extra,
stuff.
extra flavor, if you will. But whatever. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that was good, Mike. That was really well done. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Okay.
These were pretty easy. I mean, except for the New Orleans San Diego thing, like that, they were pretty easy.
Why was that one hard for you?
I mean, because I'm from Louisiana and I love New Orleans, but I've also lived here for 20 years, and you kind of, if it gets less than 72 degrees, you're like, oh gosh, the weather's terrible out here.
Yeah. That's true. Daria and I were talking. She's in the feed. Hi, Dar. We were talking. Oh man, a couple weeks ago, and it was like minus 1 billion degrees where she's from in Connecticut, and I was like, it's freezing here too. It's like 60.
It's so cold.
60 feels like summertime in Ohio
Yeah,
right now, which
it-
is
right.
Like, it was like 60 this afternoon, but it's like 30 in the morning.
Chicago shorts guy happens at 60 degrees where you're from. Like shorts guy, you're
Chicago-
probably shorts guy.
No, but a lot of the kids around here are shorts people when it's 30 degrees. Like there's a lot of no jackets and shorts going on. It's crazy town.
I love your Boston Red Sox hat, by the way. It's great.
Go Guardians.
Oh,
Bill Nye says it's our
Good.
year.
He's a science guy.
It's backed by science, so yeah,
He's a
it's
science guy, so because of that, well, let's go into what are you listening to? Aaron Dablow, what have you been listening to lately?
There's a new record from Thornhill coming out. They're an Australian sort of metalcore band. You guys know I listen to heavy music, hence humbuckers, right, Mike V?
Yeah.
So that's a record I'm waiting on coming out, and they're just leaking a couple singles there. My friend Mike Osmond, who's another sales manager with us, showed me. I'm not a real country music guy, unless it's 90s country, but he showed me a singer-songwriter who's kind of getting popular named Stephen Wilson Jr., and I really like that record he just put out. So that's those are the 2 things I'm listening to right now.
Mike Venezia, what have you been listening to?
I've been a little all over the map recently. I've kind of gotten a little backwards into thrash a little bit more because I recently saw Kerry King from Slayer on his solo tour, and it was a slightly brutal show. So it reminded me how good thrash can be. But then on the other hand, I was visiting stores last week, and for some reason, Whitesnake came up, and we were listening to the Slip of the
Yes.
Tongue album. in
That
the
is
store.
a throwback.
Yeah. So, and then we also talked about that. That was brought up because of John Sykes, who recently passed away. Guitar god John Sykes, Lord of the Les Paul. And, for everything he did with Whitesnake, but also with Thin Lizzy and Blue Murder and a bunch of other bands. So, it's been a little bit of hair, a little bit of thrash. Then that's where I've been hanging recently.
Speaking of seeing shows, Mike and I also saw a show down a local joint about a
Hell
month
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, we saw a band with the greatest name on the planet, Snot. So, and they were great. They were
was
absolutely
fun.
great. Talk about new metal.
Mhm.
That's that was there at the fore. They were at the forefront of that. Yep.
The crowd was all your age and older.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
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 Okay. So our age. Got it. Got
Right.
it.
We started out looking at like the front row, and then Mike and I were like, we're just
No.
going to sit in the back. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
perfect. So we're fine.
I don't want to spill my beer in the front row. We went to the back.
Back here where the chairs are.
Yeah.
No chairs. No chairs. No
Oh,
chairs.
yeah, but chairs are cool at shows these days, in my
They
opinion.
are, but the venue does not have.
At our
those.
age, they're great.
IMO, as they say. You know what's really funny is this is an acoustic guitar manufacturer podcast, live podcast, Taylor Primetime, as you know. And I think at least three of us here are going to talk about heavier music that we listen to. Anyway, I'll get to mine in a second. Gabe, what are
Broaden
you
the
listening to?
horizons of our audience.
Yeah, broaden the...
There is nothing
hair.
wrong with listening to the heavy stuff to make you appreciate the acoustic stuff that much more.
Amen.
broaden the horizon. Okay, Gabe.
I've been on for a little while. I've been on a big like late '90s, early 2000s like
Dave Matthews.
grunge throwback, and particularly like producer led stuff. So one of those is
Garbage. Yep.
Oh, garbage. Great.
Butch
Garbage is
Vig.
great.
Butch Vig, man.
Butch Vig is awesome.
Taylor guy.
Yeah, and I particularly love bands where like producers play a part in the band, and Buddy Miller and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of garbage. I saw the footage of REM kind of playing at impromptu playing together at the 40 Watt Club that was all over social media a week ago or whatever. So I've been listening to some REM and stuff like that. Cranberries.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You-
good.
Fun
Wow.
fact, I was at a
And also Dave Matthews.
I haven't
Dave
been
Matthews
listening
also.
to Dave Matthews since the last Primetime, actually.
Oh.
It doesn't get
It's
the
been a
heavy
whole 2
rotation.
weeks.
Does not get the heavy rotation that you think it does.
It's been. All right. Keep going. What'd you say? Aaron, you were talking. I
No,
cut you off.
what was weird was I was at a baseball tournament at Phoenix for my youngest son, and all weekend, and we were looking. Everybody's got walk-up songs now, and batting number 12, whatever the 9-year-old kid's name is. It's crazy, and they get to play a little snippet of a song while they walk up, like it's Major League Baseball, right? But there was the 4 fields back to back, and we heard now batting so and so, and somebody's walk-up song was "Linger" by the Cranberries, and then me and my wife were like, that's gonna hype you up? Like what? You're like 9 or 10 years old. I was like, what's happening here? So
I mean,
It took him like 14 minutes to walk into the batting box.
well, wasn't
I'll be
there
there in a
that
minute.
one dude, that one rookie that like they tried playing a trick on him and they started playing Baby Shark as his walk-up song, and then he like hit home runs, so they just kept playing Baby Shark whenever he walked up to the plate for a while. I forget what
not?
his name was, but that actually happened in the MLB. So
that's good.
In the MLB, what have I been listening to? Heavy music, of course.
by the way, I can't we can't ignore Rob Seymour's quote. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Bring in the Rich Casciato vibes.
Yeah, really. Hey, Gabe, you listen to garbage, but have you listened to recycling?
Oh man, we should have Rich on again. Okay,
We
Yeah,
should
oh,
have Rich on
out of
again
retirement.
just for things like that.
Oh, Rich is so great. That's
So
a good
good.
idea. Sean Ingram, the incredible, he's the goat of loud screaming vocal, and as far as I'm concerned, sings in a band called Coalesce, is in a new band called Idle Airs, or by the hairs. You know what I'm saying? So Idle Airs, it's really interesting. It's the first heavier metal band that I've ever seen with a lap steel in it. Actually, there's a pedal steel and a lap steel. It's really, really great. And then Taylor Players, Coheed and Cambria, their new record is absolutely perfect, in my opinion. It's called The Father of Make Believe. From front to back, it's perfect. And if Daria is still listening, Daria, The Father of Make Believe by Coheed and Cambria, it came out last Friday, does exactly the same thing as Zed Telos for me. It's perfect. Anyway, that's all I got.
Coalesce playing downtown LA next week.
Coalesce is playing downtown LA. So Sean Ingram looks like an accountant, and he screams louder than anybody I've ever heard. He's brutal. So
That's a band name, Loud Accountant.
Loud accountant.
Yes. Add it to the list, Mike.
I'm totally going to add that to the list.
Still dreaming of a metal band of nothing but dulcimers called Hammer of the Dulcimer. Made of tread-plated aluminum.
That hurts. That just
Dulcimers.
so good.
Dulcimers are fun. All right, let's get into customs.
yeah.
Let's
Let's
get
do
into
it.
customs.
Let's do it.
It looks like the normal crew is with us watching, so I don't really have to do the disclaimer, but you know how this works. Let's keep the nerd and guitar nerd. This is a guitar nerd talk show. We talk a lot. We obviously haven't spoken about guitars yet. See? It's
only been
21 minutes, and we haven't talked about guitars yet. But now we're going to talk about guitars. We are talking about customs and everything we can talk about customs. You got a few questions for Aaron. Got a few clips we're going to show. In fact, I'd like to open up with a couple of clips right now. Why? These guitars aren't customs, but this episode has been brought to you by two different guitars. The first guitar is the Gold Label 814E with Honduran rosewood on back and sides. I got 30 seconds for you. I'll be right back. Come on, those guitars are so good.
They are.
I mean,
So tubby on the low end. I love it.
it's so, but it's out of the way. It's like there. It's so there, but it's not in the way.
You know,
Gabe, what do I
think
mean when I say that? I want
it's-
you to translate that.
It sounds like when you're playing a guitar and you're really feeling the thump
Yeah.
of the guitar against you. That's how that guitar sounds.
Yeah,
It sounds like the guitar thumping against, just like the sound of his thumb just touching that low E string. Like it feels like a guitar thumping against your chest.
I brought that guitar out on the road last week as I was visiting stores and doing events and things like that. And I put that guitar in everybody's hand that I possibly could. Not one person disliked this guitar or went, it's all right. No, none of that. It was all like, whoa, okay, that's different.
what is that?
I like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is such a remarkable instrument. Both that and the Koa version are absolutely remarkable. Speaking of Coheed and Cambria, I have a funny story. I got some photos from their show of Claudio Sanchez, the singer and frontman. He plays an older spec 522 E live. It's a non-cutaway guitar. And it didn't have a truss rod cover on it. So I got the funniest text, and he sent the photos, and he was like, check this out. I'm missing a truss rod cover. Can I get a gold label? It was like the best ask ever. But we're going to get those guitars out on the road with them. They absolutely love them. I got one more guitar. This guitar is fire. We released a bunch of 12 strings this year at NAMM, and the one that's really been sticking out for me is the 854. It's just remarkable. So be back in 30 seconds. Such a balanced 12 string. Gabe, how was it mixing that guy?
Easy. It's really easy. V class. You know how I always talk about as an engineer, the fact that I love that notes decay in such a linear fashion. That's so accented on a 12 string, because when you hit a chord or you're plucking two strings at the same time, if they're warbling in and out of tune the way X-Brace guitars can often do, it can be really abrasive. And you're playing live, you may not notice it as much, but on a recording, it's really obnoxious. And so I don't find that hard at all. I mean, I've recorded, I don't know, hundreds of 12 strings, and that's super nice. It's lush. It feels lush. It feels like a lush kind of luxurious 12 stringy sound. It's really nice.
It's a really good guitar. Aaron,
that's a
how do you
special
feel about
guitar.
those?
I'm happy we have Grand Auditorium 12 strings back in the lineup. Honestly, I really, I like bigger body guitars, especially 12 strings, right? Like give me a jumbo, old school dreadnought. But then when we came out with the 12 fret grand concerts, it just totally opened my mind to like what a 12 string can do. I was like, oh my gosh, you can really play this guitar. And with V class, like Gabe said, small body guitars with V class sound amazing. And now back with the Grand Auditorium with V class, just an amazing sounding 12 string. It's you heard it on the video. It sounded like a 24 string or 30, a triple course type deal. So it was, I'm really happy to have those back in the lineup.
Yeah. Mike, how do you feel about them?
I think they're great. I've always thought they were great.
Yeah.
They've always had that HD quality to them, being in a slightly larger body. I mean, look, the grand concert ones are fantastic.
They're brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Nothing wrong with them. But physics is physics, right? So having it in a grand auditorium shape, you're going to get a little bit more bottom end, a little more throatiness, a little more, tubbiness, if you will. That's going to fill in that bottom end to kind of complement the chiminess that comes along with being a 12 string in the first place.
Yeah.
I think Bill Nye said that physics is physics.
Yeah.
Bill Nye did say that. And then he said something about
Then he
Guardians
said
aren't going to be great this year.
Then he said Aaron is 11 feet tall and needs a larger body guitar.
That's what ChatGPT said.
That's what GPT said.
He
Chad
also
also
said
said he's a
Aaron wears
shredder.
capes.
And
All
wears
right.
capes. Shredding capes. Another
Shredding
band name.
capes.
Another band
So-
name right there.
I got another quick video I wanna play real quick. It's just a little sizzle from an event we call the Catch Customs event that we do the day before NAMM starts every year in Anaheim, California. And then when we get back, I'm gonna have Aaron walk us through what in the heck is the Catch Customs event. 43 seconds. I'll be right back. Aaron, what in the heck is the Catch Customs event? Where did it come from? Walk us through the history.
It's the funnest event in our industry. That's basically what it is. It
Barco
is
guitars.
fun. I mean, there's So in kind of a nutshell, it's a custom guitars event where before NAMM, which is our annual convention, we invite our dealers worldwide to come out to this restaurant, and we bring 40 pre-made guitars that myself, a couple of sales managers and production worked on building to dream up some things that you normally wouldn't see. Different woods, different colors, different inlays, weird things. And dealers put their business cards in them and whatever they think they'd like to keep for their store. And we make those guitars throughout the year, and then dealers sell them. So it was called the Catch because this is actually our 10th. This is our 10th Catch event, which is crazy. But it was the name of a now defunct restaurant in Anaheim called the Catch. And we moved it to another restaurant across the way, and there's a huge space, this beautiful venue. We have food and wine and that sort of thing. And it's a cool thing for us to just thank our dealers for being partners with us, right? And then they get to purchase some really cool custom one-off guitars, and you have to be at the event to get prio shipping and to be able to order those guitars and make sure you get what you want for your store. So. But it's cool. The Catch name just kind of stuck, like dealers, if you saw them on website, this was one of the Catch guitars, number 30 or whatever. And it just kind of stuck. And, it's kind of a dual meaning thing, right? Because, you've got the Catch type of an environment. And you might catch one of these cool custom guitars for your own. So it just kind of stuck. It got some search engine relevance. And so we kept the name. I dig it. It's something a little different, right? So it's a fun event, and so happy we get to do it.
So explain real quick. I saw a guy dropping his business card in a little holder. I saw two things that stuck out to me. This is also inside baseball. But did you see how happy Zach was?
Yeah, that was
In
happy,
that shot?
happy Zach face.
Like happy Zach face was did someone pay him for
That was the
anyway.
one time.
Hey, custom guitars make people happy, Jay. Custom guitars make people happy.
It's true.
Maybe I noticed three things. I noticed some sparkly guitars. So Chelsea would love all of those sparkly guitars. She loves sparkle. Man, we learned that in a Powers Electric meeting today. She's like lit up when she heard sparkle. That's so awesome. And then the other thing was the business card. What's that? What is the relevance of the business card in the thing?
The dealers who want to purchase one of the guitars, they put their business card in, and at the end of the event, usually somebody else on our staff will pick one of them, and they win the guitar that's at the event. Now, let's say
so they don't have to wait; it ships right away after.
It ships right away, and then if you want one, like let's say 7 business cards were in guitar number 4. Then we'll remake those for those dealers because they wanted them anyway, right? So there, maybe 7 of those guitars worldwide, maybe 10, maybe 20. We do have maximum quantities of certain things just based on wood availability. We'll reserve some, different species of wood where we maybe only get 20 sets or 30 sets where we can't do it as a limited, right? Or we can't offer it in our normal custom program. So we'll use that for a Catch guitar, so just certain things like that. Actually, some of our production team, they'll just work on things on their own time. There was a really cool guitar that Gil, one of the production guys who's been there for, decades and decades, they were working on just a different tail strip that had like a V-shaped marquetry on it with red purfling. And like, oh man, it was really hard for us to do, but I think it's cool. We could probably do a few more. Like, great, let's put it in the Catch. It's something different that you normally don't see or something that we don't offer. So that's what's cool about the Catch customs. We dream them up. I work with a couple of people, and then Andy Powers has to say yes. He shoots down a lot of my ideas because they're way out there. But we work well together, and he figures out what he likes. He's like, oh, that might be a good idea for this instead. So we work together to come up with some really cool specs and make really cool guitars out of it.
I wish we could find a way for people who aren't at NAMM to actually see more of these guitars. What is the best way for people to find them?
There is a way.
What is the best way?
Customs.taylorguitars.com. So we are upgrading that entire experience, right? Right now, you'll just see the ones that were for our 2025 event, but in about a month, we're going to have all of them that we've done over the past 5 years. So you can go to that site and get inspired. You'll be able to filter by, different binding or tree inlays and see everything that we've done that has the specific, spec that you're looking for. And then you can dream up, just this. It's like a dream book, right? So you can see what you like and what you don't. And then you call your local dealer and say, hey, look, I'd like to dream up something if I can't buy this specific Catch guitar. And then we could hopefully accommodate everybody for what they want to do.
Do you ever have people who come back and ask, hey, you did one last year that looked like this. Here's a photo of it. People go in with a picture of their haircut, their next haircut, and they're like, can you cut my hair like this? Do you?
Can you give me the Rachel?
Right. Can you give me the Rachel? Do people or dealers ever come back and say, once we've made it, how often do we say no if someone wants to come? I remember there was one that was pretty interesting a couple of years ago that was like a gradient blue, light blue, white or something like that. If somebody wanted to buy that guitar again, would we make it?
It depends. Mike, didn't we just do one for one of your dealers from last year's catch? So it's funny because people still see guitars somehow, either from dealer websites or, just things that were still around, just lurking on the internet. They'll get inspired and they'll call a dealer and say, hey, can I get this guitar? And if it's not constrained by a max quantity, like sometimes we're only making 10 worldwide, we're only making 20 worldwide. And that's how we get dealers to show up to the event, because they'll for sure get those super limited quantity guitars. Then we can't remake them. The other times we can is if we don't have the materials, right? Or if it's like, oh, we don't have that cutter anymore. Oh, we don't have any recon stone. Or so we try to do our best to accommodate, but in some cases we just can't based on material availability.
I think they're really cool. I think it's super fun to go to an event. My team, I manage a content team, if you guys don't know that. We go there, we film it, we just take photos, big time candid moments of people just like enjoying the not your everyday Taylor guitar.
It's like Guitar Christmas.
Yeah, it's totally Guitar Christmas. Mike, do your dealers have a great time there?
Yes. Sometimes too good of a time.
Dealers from Pittsburgh have a great time there.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, they do. We supply great food, and the bartenders are also very skilled at what they do, and
generous.
very. And there are some that really enjoy the event more than others.
They all have a good time.
It's a heck of a good time.
Nobody walks away going, "That event was terrible." Like, everybody loves the event, and that's why it's been growing annually every year. This is the most we ever had, right, Aaron? This year.
Yeah, and after COVID, we were wondering if we would ever do it again. Just based on, would people travel? Would people come back to the NAMM show? And this year, attendance was way up, and dealers are excited about custom guitars this year. So it's a good way to kick off the year for our industry and for our company. So this one was a great time.
All right, before we dive into full-on customs, I want to ask a question, because you said something a minute ago about Andy Powers. He turns down a lot. Is there one guitar that you dreamt up that was so good in your mind, and Andy just looked at you and was like, no?
It happens all the time. I can't think of any one specific idea that it's like, well, okay, there was one with a caveat. Okay, it might have been 2 years ago, Mikey V. We did a Grand Symphony with the Soundport cutaway, like double gold top, black back and neck. And Andy's like, I'm not going to do this guitar. I was like, I promise you it's going to sell. He's like, if it doesn't, then I'm going to make you wear a gold sequined, like double-breasted vest jacket to the next event. So Andy had a good time with it too, but he was like, okay, I'll do this. And it's something that's really unique, and I think Andy realizes too. We all realize now, it's like, what I think is cool or what he thinks is cool may not be what somebody, from the middle of the country thinks is cool, right? And it's all subjective, and just like Tone, it's in the eye of the beholder. So what we want to do is make very interesting pieces, like for somebody to talk about, right? Like,
yeah.
Or, oh wow, I've never seen that look on a Taylor before, or I've never seen that look on any other guitar before. Just to have something cool and different and unique. And really, what I love doing is showing the prowess of our skilled, production people, like, who are making these things, and like, okay, wow, this is an idea, and our production folks can make it come to life. And that's what I really love seeing when I open those cases. I'm just like, like you said at the beginning, we're all guitar nerds here. I'm the biggest guitar nerd there is, and I still love opening cases like, yes, they did it. It looks killer. This is amazing. And so that's part of the fun for me, to help try to kind of put these guitars together and dream these ideas up.
If you guys saw the thumbnail for this show, we brought back a couple of guitars we've done in the past. You showed it at the Catch this year, and it was the Koi Fish guitar. It's the Living Jewel guitar. Is that what it's called? Living Jewel?
Correct.
Did I get that right? Mm-hmm. And we did a combo with Circa 74 amp that had the Koi Fish on it. How did that come about? Was that just a 50th anniversary idea, or was it awareness when Taylor Swift made a fake version of it and smashed it in a video? What was that all about?
I really don't. Okay, well, I think it had to. Now that I'm thinking back about this, I was at an event with Bob Taylor last August in Chicago, and he was just talking about was it the last year or the year before when Taylor Swift took that guitar out? It was the Eras tour, which was the
Yeah,
past 2 years,
That's
right?
been
So it's been out.
ongoing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So Bob, I think he was texting with Taylor's dad, and they've been friends for forever, right? And he's just like, that guitar is like getting so much press or whatever. Maybe we could like redo it in a new like a Grand Pacific model and our more modern slope shoulder dreadnought. And and then when I saw a picture of that amp, I was like, oh my gosh. So I wasn't in those meetings. I just saw the pictures and I was like, oh wow, like how cool is that?
It looks
Just
so cool.
Yeah, it is
Right?
unreal how cool it looks.
It is unreal how cool that amp and that guitar look together.
I remember looking at those, like the original Living Jules guitars, and I bet a lot of people do in like, Wood and Steel, like guitar magazines and stuff, and like, poring over those when they came out. Seeing that come back was super dope. The amp is absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Anyway, that guitar is awesome, and I'm excited about it. So full-on customs. We have different levels of customs. We talked about our Catch Custom event where those guitars are kind of pre-made for you. A dealer has the opportunity to buy them, in other words, right? And then full-on custom guitars at Taylor. What are full-on custom guitars? Walk me through that.
Like custom guitars
Custom, yeah.
are where, so like Catch Event, we kind of predetermine it. Some things that are off the menu you normally don't see. Custom guitars is when a player wants to go just get something from the bottom up, right? I know what I want. I want a grand auditorium. I want Blackheart sassafras. I want a cedar top. And then maybe you could help me with the appointments, like this binding, this inlay, this sort of thing. And, we can build it in about 3 to 4 months. So somebody can dream up their custom guitar and go to a dealer and ask them to help them out with it. And we can help as well. And then we make it for them. So that's our custom program.
So Mike, does anything go with these custom guitars?
Most things go. I think we did the math one time. I think you can make like 1 nontillion different guitars with all the different combinations of things you can do. But there are some things that may not be available depending on the combinations. Like, we're not going to let you do like, a purple polka dot, craziness that's, with an upside down neck, lefty strung righty, 12 string baritone. Like, like that's just because you thought of it doesn't mean it's viable.
Guitar, actually.
Right.
So, but I mean, there is a lot of different things that you could do through the full custom program, especially if you're somebody who's into designing things from the ground up, right? It does take a little more time, a little more forethought, but when you do get there, that is uniquely your guitar, like, oh wow, I thought of that. I picked those woods. I picked that inlay. This is my combination of things that I wanted on that guitar. So.
I love that. So no real limitations? What would a limitation be if there was a limitation? Just maybe material?
Material, yeah. Certain options won't work with others based on, like neck carb programs, like in terms of nut width or scale length, but most things will, and body shapes, right? So most combinations will work. It's just, not everything does. And so that's why we recommend that a player goes to the dealer and, somebody who's versed in custom guitars, and they can help them walk them through that. And we will as well too, at the Taylor factory.
Yeah. So, how do you order? You go through the dealer. You can't just call us up and say we want a guitar.
That's correct. Yeah, our dealers are well versed in the custom programs, and if that's the case too, sometimes we'll get the sales manager in. Like Mike has talked to dealers and customers before plenty of times, and he continues to do that about custom builds to try to help people get what they want. And then if there are some combinations that don't work together, then we'll recommend something else in its place that will get them where they want to be in terms of getting the job done. So.
Yeah, the salespeople at Taylor, DSMs like myself, district sales managers that help, that work with the stores. We touch every custom that comes in
Oh, you do.
because it has to be approved in one way or another, and we'll
Got
look
it.
over. The dealer will be like, "Hey, here's this configuration. What do you think?" Then we have to physically enter that in and make sure that that does work. And we have years of experience behind us. Like, I don't know if I would do this, but if the customer really wants it and they're dedicated to that, okay, fine. We'll do that for them. We'll have helpful suggestions. But like Aaron said, if something isn't going to work with something else, we'll let you know that too. And then we'll go back. And sometimes even when it gets to production, they'll say, "Hey, we're doing this color, but you may want to stain the neck to kind of make it flow a little better when using this wood." So then we'll go back and give that recommendation. So it gets looked at along the way many times. There's lots of eyes on these, making sure that the end user is getting what they envisioned and the best product possible.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a question over here that John asked, guys. Are there any other guitars besides the X17, so Builder's Edition Grand Pacifics, that have the compound card neck? I guess the question there probably would be, can I swap necks on different bodies? Like,
No,
if I want a
can't do that.
compound carve. Okay, if I don't, I can't get a compound carve neck on a GA.
That's correct. We've done that we've done some catch guitars with that specific neck, but we've only done them on Grand Pacifics.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Okay, let's play a quick game of I'm going to customize my guitar with you, Aaron Dablow. Can we do that
Okay.
real quick? Okay.
I like this game. Let's do
These are
this.
yes or no questions. We'll go easy, and then maybe I'll dive into some other questions. Okay, ready? Can I get exotic tone woods on my custom build?
Yes, you can. We have a menu of available custom, wood sets that we keep off to the side that we don't bill with our standard production, right? And then from time to time, we'll have some things that aren't even on the menu. So, the secret In-N-Out burger, the menu.
So Brazilian or sassafras?
We don't
I
have
would say-
Brazilian. Yeah, we haven't worked with Brazilian in quite some time. Aside from those two last sets that Andy Powers had a couple years ago. And I think that's the last. Everybody says like, "Oh, it's the last Brazilian. We don't have any more." And then somehow there's a set that shows up. It's like, wait, what? So here's the other thing. We never say never at Taylor Guitars, right? We never speak in absolutes like that. So we do have exotic wood sets that we can use. Most of those can be seen on the customs.taylorguitars.com website as well.
I'd probably get sassafras because it's the funnest to say.
And play. It sounds
Sassy.
awesome.
Sassy.
Sounds and
It's
looks
cool.
awesome.
It's
If
a
you don't like your
great-
guitar, you can grind it up and make it into a tea.
There you go, sassafras tea. Can I put a beveled armrest on my custom built guitar?
Indeed. Yep.
And with that armrest, are there choices of woods that I can use? Like I want a maple armrest with a spruce top and rosewood back and side.
Great, that's fine.
I could do that.
The armrest material has to match the binding, but yes.
See.
So we like doing like bloodwood armrests with bloodwood binding on like a dark top guitar with like a rosewood back and sides. Yeah, or cocobolo. And yeah, you can absolutely do maple. It has to match the body binding.
So you actually have the funnest job in the world when you're making these catch custom guitars because you know all of that information. I get it. Okay. Can I choose my fingerboard inlay pattern and material?
Based on what we offer, yes. Right now, we don't have an inlay artist. I remember Larry Breedlove back in the day? He would do all of our inlays. He retired, and so did all that knowledge of of doing custom inlays. But we don't currently take player submitted inlays, but we do have a variety of inlays we've used over the past 30 years that we offer in the custom program.
Okay. But what if my name is Zach Brown and I want to write Zach Brown on my fingerboard?
Well, there is an option for that. We do have this thing, a little scroll on the 12th fret, right? So we'd be right about there. It looks like a little scroll, and you can put your name in there. Now so there are some options. We also offer like engraved truss rod covers. So if you don't want it, and then like think about a lot of people are like, I want my name on the guitar, and then they go to try to sell it later on because they fall on hard times. And it's like, well, Daniel Jackson is here selling his guitar. Who's going to buy that? So, but if you wanted to put it on the truss rod cover, then you could swap it out with the regular one. So you can customize it that way too.
I love that. Can I choose binding material? And
Yes.
how many different flavors of binding material do we have?
Quite a few. White plastic, black plastic, Ivoroid. When you get into the woods, you have rosewood, ebony, cocoa bolo, bloodwood, rosewood,
Tortoiseshell.
maple, tortoiseshell is another one. Yep. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. So quite every binding that we offer is available in the custom program.
Oh, I love this game. This game's fun. Can I get a bone nut and saddle?
Yes, you can get a bone nut for sure. A lot of the saddle material we like to use is micarta because it's so the consistency of that material works super well with the ES2, and most players get ES2. So we don't currently have bone saddles, but most people just customize the bone nut anyway because that's where they think the tone transfer is. So bone nut for sure.
Tone Transfer is a good band name.
I'm
Can
still
I
stuck on Daniel Jackson.
Daniel Jackson is a good band name too, actually, if you think about it.
Like, my name's Billy Bob, but Daniel Jackson if you're nasty, because my guitar says it.
Oh, that's so good, Gabe. Can I choose what pickup I put in the guitar? ES2, go back in times, ES1. Say if I want a K&K or something like that. Can I do that?
Right now, it's either no pickup or ES2, but there is talk about working with different pickup systems because, as you know, we're starting to use the Anthem, the bag system, bags element and that sort of thing in some of our guitars. And I'm assuming that's going to find its way into our custom program pretty soon.
Got it. Wow. Now I have an idea of what guitar I'm going to buy.
What's that?
I can't tell you. It doesn't come out until July.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that one's the one. It's so good. But anyway, I know about it. No one else does, and I just gave away a secret, kind of. But not a real secret. Anyway.
Not a real secret. Jay, Matt has a really good question in here because we get this from time to time. If you see that in the chat, could a customer supply the tone woods themselves? We don't do that well, that's not to say we don't. We have in the past, but only because if a wood set goes down in production, we have nothing else to do, right? There's so many things that can happen in production, and we don't really like to do that based on like, oh, this was my, I've had this set of wood for forever, and we don't know the consistency or the thicknesses, or so once we start working it, it may not work out. So for the most part, we say no to that one. But I like that question because we get it all the time.
I got that. That is a really good question. So I want to show you this. I got a couple of.
There are some good ones over here.
A couple of guitars I want to show you over here. So, are you guys familiar with this guitar right here? Do you remember that? Do you know whose guitar that is?
Ooh.
It looks a
KT?
little like KT's.
Yeah, that's the KT. That's KT Tunstall's second guitar. Remember, the first guitar we made had a mirrored pickguard on it. She ended up having to cover up the mirrored pickguard from time to time because it would blind people.
That's really cool.
It's a super cool guitar. Look at this. So it's a 717, as you see the rosewood right there.
Oh, that's koa binding. I didn't mention that one too. Yeah, the other wood binding we do is koa binding. It looks like either koa or sapele, huh?
Yeah,
I think it's
That's nice.
I think it's Koa.
That is wild. That guitar is so cool. I actually had to deliver that guitar to her, and she was just loved it. Mike, good job bringing KT over to Taylor.
That's been a pleasure. Feather in my cap.
Right, that was a good tip. Tip your cap. Okay, and then check this one out. I was looking at customs that we have photos of. Whoa.
That's wild. It looks like a tie-dye shirt. That's crazy.
I know. Isn't that cool? So it's a 12 string. What would that be? What would this? Here's the headstock on that.
Mike, didn't we make that one as a grand orchestra with that cutaway?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's master grade koa. To me, that it looks like a real dark cocoa bolo binding with the beveled armrest. You've got that deep power shell abalone everywhere on the top, on the rosette, and then
on the armrest too.
Yeah, all around the armrest on both sides. So I guarantee we've got power shell purfling on the back too, and then Byzantine inlay. And like power shell is like the darkest part of the abalone shell. So that's where you get the greens and the blues and the purples. And we reserve that for, yeah, there you go. Just torch inlay, headstock, same thing. Super variegated ebony. And those look like those bronze tuners, which match really well with that peg head. I love it. Sorry, nerding out here.
Oh,
It's a guitar nerd talk show. Nerd away.
I know, it's a nerd alert. That was a nerd alert. How does that guitar make you feel, everyone in the feed over here? Let's look at it one more time. All right, ready? You guys hold on for dear life. This one's about to hit you. Okay.
Gosh.
Oh.
First word that comes to your mind, quick.
What is the first word that comes to your mind, everybody? Look at that thing right there.
The first word that comes to my mind is want. That's the one that comes to my mind.
Wow, custom tailor. Okay, so custom select. What is this new custom select program I keep hearing about, Mike?
So we talked about the other two layers of what we do as far as custom. We have the catch customs, which are that's once a year we do that. We come up with the specs on that one. Those specs are sometimes only available to catch guitars, elite. Then there's the custom program where a customer can, from the ground up, design their tailor guitar. Now, custom select is a variation on the custom program where it's based on a platform. Basically, you're starting with a particular series of guitar, and we give you select options that you can choose that complement that particular series of instrument. So the custom select program is new for 2025. We have 5 different series that you can work within: 300, 400, 600, 700, and 900. Those series all have different sets of options. Some cross over from one to another, but each series is going to have a different set of options that works for that particular series of guitar. Now, what does that mean for you as the player? Well, that means that you can take a guitar that you wanted, like if you wish you saw, and this is something we actually did for NAMM, say you wanted a 300 series guitar in a grand orchestra. Well, with this program, you could do a 318E, Sapelli sides and backs, spruce top with all the trimmings that you would find on a 300 series guitar, but you're not going fully custom, so you're actually not paying that extra premium that you might have to do if you built it from the ground up. It's based on a platform, so there's some muscle memory involved already with everybody in production. It cuts down on the time to actually make these guitars, at least a little bit. So you have a set series, select number of items you can choose from, less than the full custom program. Okay, so it's a more condensed set of options, but again, it fits that particular series. And like I said, giving somebody the opportunity to build off a platform kind of takes a little bit of the guesswork out of, am I doing this right? Because building a full custom guitar, that can be a daunting task.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you're spending a lot of money. You don't even know if you're going to like it. You hope you're going to like it. You have an idea you're going to like it. Some people know absolutely what they want. But if you're unsure, go with the custom select program, because you know what a 400 series guitar sounds like, what a 300 series guitar sounds like. You just want it appointed differently. It's sort of like you buy a car, and that's the base model. Well, you're picking your own trim package, right?
Yeah,
you're saying I want the Journey package. For me, that's going to be a grand orchestra model. I don't want a cutaway, and I want an LR Bags pickup.
Steve Perry's in the back seat when you get
Exactly.
it.
Steve
So-
Perry comes out of your case.
Yes, for an extra fee. Everything can come at a price.
He comes out of your trunk of your car with the case.
Yes.
But it makes it easier for the player too, because oh man, I love it. I know I want a 314C. I just want to change a couple of other things like inlays or, a pick guard or the tuners or heck,
And
even
how
the
often
color,
do people ask about that stuff too? Like there's so many times online I'll see people go, "Oh, can I get this on this guitar?" Or, "Oh, I wish they did this little thing this different."
Yep.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's like the first, when we put out, a lot of times we put out a new model.
Yeah.
And it's like, we think this is the greatest version of this model, and we're getting it out to public. Can I get it with this?
all the time.
We're guitar players. That's what we do. That's what we
I
do.
am the worst at that. I am the worst because for me, every guitar. This is me. This is me. Don't shoot me. I want dot inlays in everything. I like less ornate inlays in every instrument ever, all the time. So, like Gabe's 517, that is the greatest 517 on the planet. I would say, I wish I had Gabe's 517 with dot inlays. That's it. I like less ornate things. It makes it special to me. But I'm totally that guy. So the custom select program is actually pretty remarkable. It allows
Yeah.
you to just kind of make a tweak. Now, with custom select, so I got a question. We got a lot of guys, we got a lot of people who buy guitars based on nut width. Can you change the nut width? Can you do, inch 7/8, inch
Yeah.
11/16, like switch?
Yep.
Okay, you can.
You can do V class. You can go larger in terms of the nut width on any body shape. Some body shapes, well, with the smaller nut width, you can't, because you think about the V class and where the bridge hits. If you go smaller, it doesn't work with the V class bracing. So it depends on the body shape and the scale length, but we can help you out with that based on what you're looking for. But yeah, there are nut width options and scale length options in custom select too, which is great. And the cool thing is it's relative to the price you're looking at with, it's with a certain percentage upcharge, right? So it's not going full custom where it could be $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, whatever. Building a guitar from the ground up, you're taking an existing model and you're modifying it for a nominal surcharge, which really makes it easy for everybody.
I love
Yeah,
this
no
question.
fretboard inlays for sure. We can do
That's
that.
an option. Yep, 100%.
You know what else I thought about while you were talking about this, Mike, a minute ago is, if you've ever tried to plan out, and if you're a big guitar nerd like I am, and I'm sure Aaron's done this, I'm sure most Taylor fans have done this at some point, tried to plan out what you would get if you got a custom guitar. It's very easy to get in the weeds with options and poring over all those different things, like, if I did this or did that, and
Yeah.
worrying about, all of the minutia of those things. And I feel like this is so cool because it gives you the ability to, like Mike was saying, what a 300 is or a 400 is, but you can take something that is what and make it into the thing that you want it to be and still get that familiarity without getting in the weeds of a full custom, is, like from the ground up.
This is why I don't go to the Cheesecake Factory. There's too much stuff on the menu. I don't want to eat anything then. It's like, help me decide, like, this is what we're good at, right? So with us, luckily we're good at everything, but if you don't want to go through like, I don't know what I want when it comes to this. And then a lot of times you just get turned off because it's like, it's difficult. And this is easier. So we do it in the 300 series, 400 series, 600 series, 700 series has quite a few options in terms of wood. And then we go 900 series. And as you move up in series, the options for each open up a little bit more, right? Because as you move up, the price moves up. So your options are a little bit bigger and wider when you increase in series.
All right, we got a Prince question over here. Can you go Bear Peghead? No Taylor logo.
No Taylor logo. Not currently, but I did hear Andy Powers saying sometimes that might look cool. You know what I'm saying? So
he made a custom, I think, didn't he make a custom classical for somebody a couple years ago that he went a pure custom or pure classical, and it had a carved headstock instead of a logo,
right?
Maybe.
You know what Matt could do though is like every other player you see on any TV show now is just put that dang snark right on the peg head and cover it up. Put your tuner on top. You can't see the logo anymore.
What? Okay. There's that. Customs, man. Okay, so Gabe, let's play one more little game. We're gonna play a little game real quick.
Man.
We're gonna go around the horn real quick and quickly design our custom. So not fully custom. We're gonna play custom select program here. So it's got to be an existing model. What would you do? How would you want it?
Ooh. I can give you two off the top of my head. The 724 no cutaway Godo tuners. Really easy.
Glossy or satin?
Satin.
Yeah,
Okay.
that matte finish was fire, in my opinion.
I've always been a big. I like Koa a lot. I've never liked Koa top guitars very much until I played one of those at Rudy's, and I texted Jay and I went, "Just found the first Koa top guitar I've ever wanted to buy." Like it was my jam. I was like, "This is so good." Immediately so good. And then I would probably do some kind of baritone, like a baritone GS Urban Ash back and sides or something like that. Like 300 appointments, real simple, nothing to it, like nothing fancy, just baritone.
Now,
All
we
right.
couldn't make that guitar for you right now, though.
No, well, I don't know what
That
the
guitar we
parameters of
couldn't
this
make
game
for
are.
you. The parameters
In
of the
custom,
game
we
are-
could.
No,
In
we
custom,
can't.
you could. No.
Baritone?
Not a grand symphony.
Oh, got it.
Oh, there isn't a baritone grand. Well, I mean, I'll take any baritone.
We can do it as a grand auditorium for you. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
That'd be
sidebar,
super fun.
Sidebar. Can we go back to a square-shouldered dreadnought if I
Ooh.
wanted something?
Eventually, yeah. That's not currently in the configurator, but now that we're offering 810s, and
Oh, so
815s, and
okay.
we're discussing that currently.
Okay, because I was just gonna say we made like a 410, I want to say, baritone or something once.
That
was so
existed,
dope.
yeah.
Okay, anyway, I don't want that guitar. Mike, custom select yourself a guitar real quick.
I would keep it relatively simple, because I play horribly. So for me, if I put more bling on it, it just is like, well, I'm a terrible guitar player with a lot of bling. No, I all kidding aside, I would keep it simple. There's something to be said for just a toned down aesthetic in a lot of ways. Somebody mentioned no inlay. I would go with no inlay, but I would do with a striped pick guard, like on like a 414 CE. I would want to have like a torrefied top on that guitar, because you could do torrefied Sitka. So do torrefied Sitka on the rosewood sides and back, no inlay, stripy pickguard, Godos, of course. Godos are like, that's like a given. And I might actually round that one out by using an LR Bags Element VTC pickup.
All right.
No
Okay.
pickguard either. Naked on top. No pickguard.
All right, we got to answer a question. We got a question over here. What about models that aren't currently being manufactured? So,
What's that one?
say 417.
Oh, what's funny is so at the Catch event, we built up a couple of custom select examples, and we built that guitar with an Adirondack spruce top. So there was a 417 custom select Adirondack top, and it was a phenomenal guitar. So yes, Matt, there you go. Custom select will get you there.
I've seen
All right, Aaron.
so many Catch guitars over the years. Aaron, you know about that Blackwood one that I was obsessed with.
Grand Theater?
Grand
Concert.
It was the Grand
Grand
Concert.
Concert.
Yeah.
The dark shading and
Yeah.
the
Charcoal.
all wood inlays, the all wood block outlines.
Yep.
That guitar is wild.
That guitar was fire. I remember that guitar. I wish we had a photo of it.
I'm
Dang.
obsessed.
That guitar was so good. Okay. Aaron, it's your turn.
Are we talking custom?
Custom select to your guitar.
Custom
It's
select
got to
it.
be a current model.
Man, it was really fun doing this, especially with the old school maple guitars, like in the 600 series. So I might build myself like a Prince guitar, a purple 612, variegated fretboard,
Oh yeah.
and Godo tuner, silver Godos with black buttons.
Nice.
Agree on the variegated fretboard. Like, go crazy.
Inlay or
Right.
no?
Let's go no inlay, sans.
Yeah. I think
Sans
we can
inlay.
do a variegated fingerboard. You don't need the inlay.
Right.
I would do simple dots, abalone dots. I like to see the dots.
You guys want to start a guitar store or what? Is that what we're
I
doing?
know.
really
we
wanna
could.
start a
We could
guitar
do
store,
this.
actually.
Jay, what about you? What would you want to dream up through custom select?
Mine's totally simple. Gold label 814 with rosewood, so Honduran rosewood on the back and sides. It would have more of a traditional Western burst on it, or like a sunburst, like a Nashville burst on it. So darker kind of black into
like
orange.
Like
the
the dark
mid,
tobacco, yeah.
Like the
yeah,
two-
or like the 2010s 700s when they had that. It was like
no.
more black, and then it just had the center
No,
orange, like a
we
cowboy
ma-
burst.
A little bit more, a little darker on the outside than that. A little bit.
Oh, those were dark on the outside.
Well, I'm
Like,
not
it
talking
was a
about
lot of dark.
the mustard green ones. Remember that Western burst we did that for a
No,
minute?
no, not those
no.
ones.
We had 700s that were like
Oh, the 710. We used
Real
to make
dark.
a 710. We
Yeah,
made
it was really dark.
Yep, that.
I
Yep.
thought those were dope.
Yep, I would do that. It would be dot inlays, except for the 12th fret would have a little squiggly do in there just for fun, and then no headstock inlay. That guitar, perfect right there. That's it. That's what I would do. I love that guitar. I love it. I love it. Super auditorium. Yeah.
and one day all that might be available in custom and custom select.
Probably
Yeah.
sooner than you think.
What? They just
Yeah.
let us in on something, Gabe, that they've been scheming over here, and we don't even know about it. I
like
work down
secret
the hall
knowledge.
from them, man.
I like nerd knowledge, and only the people watching this will even have heard about that.
Actually, I just noticed something. Both Aaron and I did the one face that comedians always do in their promo shots.
You did. You did. You both did. Wow. Is there anything else you would like anybody to know about customs?
The nice thing is you're not waiting
See, I told you.
2
you'd have more.
years, right? You're not waiting 2 years. Right now, we're backed up with Catch Customs because we are, like I said, our dealers are really, they love these guitars and bought a lot of them. And so we are building the 2025. And so that's taking a lot of our custom production schedule. You know, when we build our production schedule, we work a few of each series in every day. And so we're pretty back ordered on 2025 Catch guitars. But if there's a custom order, we'll try to insert it where we can, and you'll still have it in about 3 to 4 months. So you're not waiting like 2 years for a guitar like you would, you know, from a local builder or something like that. So you can dream it up, talk to one of our esteemed retailers. We'll help you build it, and you can have it, you know, in about 90 to 120 days.
Now, I want to go back into that 417 question real quick. If I want to buy a 811 blacktop with dot inlays, can I buy it?
Currently, no. Grand Theater is not a body shape that's offered in the custom program. But I have a 611 back here that if you really wanted it, I'd paint it for you and you could buy it from me.
Oh.
With
I
the
don't
But
know if
that's one of my
how
favorite
that's-
guitars, though.
I
with the
don't know how
Alamo
that
inlays,
goes.
that guitar's rad.
It's one of my favorites. Like,
It's
that's what I'm
so
saying.
cool.
B class with small body guitars is something magical. And I'm so happy I got to buy that guitar.
It's really cool. I mean, I have the Urban Ash, and it's so good.
Yep.
Those guitars are so fun.
Yep.
They're so fun.
I know.
Could you? This is a me centric guitar nerd question, and
Ooh,
you'll know why. But is there walnut available in the custom program?
For sure.
So if you basically wanted to recreate in some body style like a
Dave Matthews?
W65 in some fashion, some body style.
Yeah, right now we could do a W68 for you.
That'd be tight.
The Grand Orchestra, but I'm
like
hoping
or like a
we'll put the
GA
jumbo.
body.
Yeah, for sure. We've got really, really nice walnut too. And a lot of cases, if you do a custom guitar, not custom select, and you know a couple of people, maybe we'll pick out some wood sets for you and take a photo. Probably the people that are only the people that are in the chat right now. Everybody else, you don't get it. But if you
That'd be
guys
a-
in the chat wanted
That'd
to
be
do
a
it,
fun guitar to have. A lot of
We'd help
people
you.
searching for those guitars.
Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
He
There's a
himself
lot of-
is searching.
There's a lot of folks you see like in guitar sales groups and stuff all the time. There's people like, does anybody have a W65? Nobody has them. Like there are probably
Well,
11 of those ever made.
Yeah, so Gabe, we don't have grafted walnut because that was some of that wood from the 90s, 2000s. So it was the black walnut and the Claro walnut.
Yeah.
Claro English. Yeah, right. Black. Yeah. And the graft line, you could see the two different species
Which
as the
was
tree
cool,
grew up. It was
but-
gorgeous, but we used all of it, and so
Yeah. But walnut sounds great, period.
and
Walnut
it looks
is walnut.
great. We've got
Yeah.
some really figured and flamey walnut right now that we're using for custom. You can go to
I
our
have,
that customs website too. So
I have a Loudon over there that's walnut back and sides. That's really fun too.
mm-hmm. Excellent.
Oh,
Walnut's
I
a great.
see.
Walnut's a great. Yeah, I'm like, does anyone want to buy a Loudon? I need to fund this. um, that's
Awesome.
a fun.
We don't talk price.
That's
Okay,
a fun.
okay. Is cedar in this wish list of
Yes.
custom select?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Redwood also, as you move up the food chain, for sure.
Okay, did
Torrefied
someone say Dave
Sitka.
Matthews? Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question. How old is the sinker wood used in some of the custom? I'm
Some of
assuming
that
they mean
stuff,
redwood.
yeah, some of that redwood. I mean, some of that stuff is, I mean, hundreds of years old, right, Mike? I don't know how to date what we currently have, but it's
I mean, older than
if
us.
it's sinker, yeah, it's
mean,
If it's
been in that
sinker,
valley.
it's 100 years at least. You know, it fell off. You know, fell into the river a very long time ago. So,
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be floater redwood, I guess.
Yeah,
It didn't
some
make
of-
it all the way down.
Some of that stuff would have sank 100 years
You
ago.
said
probably,
Dave
right?
Matthews and Floater Redwood in the same paragraph.
You can't
Oh,
say
right.
Dave Matthews and Floater in the same paragraph.
You
No.
cannot, because
No.
especially
Chicago.
on St. Patrick's Day weekend when they dye the river green.
Yes.
Okay. Anywho, all right,
bad.
ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all the custom talk we have tonight. Unless anybody has anything else.
I saw. I wanted to ask Aaron about this because I texted everybody about this a while back because the catch guitars.
Matt G, you're the best, dude. Mount Rushmore of primetimes.
Nice.
This one.
One of the
Get
catch
out the
guitars
chisel.
I saw that was super fun had a special neck. Do you want to talk about that at all, Aaron? A little texture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Z Glide.
Yeah, I
Z-Glide.
saw those and freaked out, and so did the internet. By the way,
Right. I heard like, I can't believe Taylor's using
they're ripping
Dang,
off that
they're ripping
design.
and oh yeah, you were texting me that day.
Yeah,
Gabe,
yeah.
right. So
I was
Bob-
like, they're
it's-
clearly not because they stamped the patent number on it. So I don't
Yes.
think that's a thing.
And that's how crazy our little industry is. Bob Taylor and Dean Zielinski from Dean Guitars back in the day, now Zielinski Guitars. He's a great dude, and Bob is friends with most of the people in our industry who build guitars, right? Because they're common, that's their
Because he
their
loves
common
builders.
thread. Yeah, and so he's friends with him, and he's like, man, maybe we should try some of these for the catch guitar, catch event. I'll just send him some necks, and we'll figure it out. Literally, that happened about 3 weeks before the event.
That's so rad.
If Bob wants something to happen, we figured out. I saw Terry Myers, who's like employee number 4. He's been around for 35 years, running around with these 2 necks. I'm like, I know what he's doing. So we got Dean to laser those in, and we sent them back, and then we built guitars with them. It's just something weird and different that you normally don't see, right? So
That's what's fun about catch guitars. You see neat stuff that you're like, what?
I know.
What about this Shamel ash top with a red ironbark back and sides?
That would be one dense guitar.
Yeah.
That would.
That would be heavy.
Sound
Yeah.
like a fence.
Yeah.
Would it?
That's,
Sure
that's
if that
some
would
dense.
work.
I
Yeah,
think it's worth trying.
Me too. I want to do something weird
At
like
the
that. For sure.
catch and then paint it sparkle green, and no one will know. And it might sound incredible.
That's why not everybody builds catch guitars there, Jay Parkin.
Catch guitar number 40 has dot inlays. Catch guitar number 45 has dot inlays. Yeah, I'd be the most boring catch guitar designer on the planet. Okay. Well, that being said, I think it's time. Guys. We haven't done this in a while, but we're going to do it real quick, and we're going to do it now, and it's going to come in. It's going to come in hot. Ladies and gentlemen, time for 2 minutes of sports. Baseball's back, kind of.
Baseball is coming.
Baseball is back. We going into NBA playoff time is right around the corner. We got about 15 games in the NHL, which I'm really excited about. And March Madness. Who is doing what? But let's talk baseball real quick. The Yankees are probably going to be terrible this year, Gabe.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not sad.
Okay.
I don't have particular Yankee hate. I really don't.
We'll
I don't
still
have
beat
Yankee
the
hate.
Guardians somehow. We'll somehow just beat the Guardians. We
I
play you
don't know.
6 times this year or something like that, 9 times in a year. So we're gonna go 9 and like 151.
It's a whole bunch of games. It's a long season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped this year. I think we're coming in strong.
I
We're
think you
not.
are
We lost
too.
our 2 best pitchers.
I think you are too going in strong, but watch out. This young squad that I got up in Detroit is going to come in there and throw some hammers, some haymakers. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. We got
But will
Flaherty back.
anyone
This thing
beat
is.
the Dodgers though?
Yes,
Or will
people
they
are going to
have
beat the
bought-
Dodgers
Are
because
they
here's
gonna
the
are they
deal.
gonna have bought their next World Series?
No, here's the deal. It's not going to work. Period. Come on. You know it's not going to work. By mid-season, they're going to have 2 starters left, and they're going to have to pick up everybody else because those guys are all. It's going to be Shohei Ohtani is he's going to throw the ball. That's going to be exciting. So when he plays, it's going to be exciting. But
He's
everything
great.
else
He hurts
is not going to
himself
work.
again.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that.
He's
Kike
great.
Hernandez. That's what you did. You brought him back. I mean, he's exciting. I guess if you want somebody who can talk smack to anybody on the Padres. The Padres. How are the Padres going to do, Aaron?
I don't know. I saw Yu Darvish pitch from like 40 feet away at spring training, and that was pretty rad. I was like, how do people hit the ball right? How do people hit a Major League Baseball? I have no idea.
Were you behind home plate?
I was right off of home plate, third baseline, second
Isn't that-
row.
Okay, and at spring training, it's close proximity. And how cool is it when you hear him throw that 4-seam?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Just,
Yeah.
I don't know. That level of athlete is ridiculous. So, yeah, hats off to any of the pro baseball players. I can't wait. It's coming back, though. Padres. You're right. Is anybody going to beat the Dodgers? I don't know.
I need to get out there and come to a ball game with you guys this year. I've never been to the field.
God,
Yeah, you can
best
see some
ballpark
real
in America.
teams.
It's
You can see some real
arguably
teams
the
out
best
here.
ballpark in baseball.
I
mean,
love
there-
our ballpark. I love St. Louis's ballpark is amazing.
I got to
all
do that one
brick.
last year. It's great.
Oh, I've been a
St.
couple
Louis is
times.
great.
It's all brick. It's beautiful. I went last year too.
PNC, great. Mikey Venezia.
Yep,
Up in-
PNC
yeah.
is great.
great.
But come on, man. This is owed to my buddy Brian over here. Wrigley is still fire.
I have not been to Wrigley.
How can
Amazing.
You not call? How can you call yourself a baseball
And-
fan and not go to Wrigley?
No, I haven't
That's
been to
just crazy.
Wrigley. I haven't been to Boston. I haven't
Amazing.
been to, like
Anyway, baseball's
want to.
back.
Yes, it
Everybody,
is.
we're all excited about it over here at Taylor Guitars. It's a big deal. We love it here. Petco does rock, John. You know more than anybody.
high five to
Petco
our boy Sharpie.
rocks.
It
Is
does.
such a cool ball field. They built it right into the city downtown. It's remarkable. And did you know it's the most humid ballpark in all of Major League Baseball? Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's good
Yeah.
to know.
Marine
Yeah.
layer.
Well, marine layer. Anyway,
That's the
ladies
I'm
and
just,
gentlemen,
I'm laughing at Rob's comment right now.
which one?
I agree.
What?
The football shouldn't be called football, right? It should. American
it's
football.
true.
It makes no sense.
It's
It
a
makes
poor
no sense
name.
at all.
Hand egg. Yeah,
And egg.
for real. It shouldn't be called football. Anyway, my Premier League team is terrible, so let's not talk about that right now. Also, Formula One is back. That's really exciting. Everything's back right now.
Brad Pitt's Formula One movie is coming, so people are going to get pumped about that.
I know. I'm so stoked on this right now. And you know what? What's that show that I'm supposed to watch, Daria? Star Trek.
Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
I have a couple
That's
of
her
girls
thing.
who are a little pumped on WNBA this year too. So
Oh, WNBA is fire.
we're
It's
putting
gonna
up a
be awesome.
basketball goal this spring.
There you go.
Ainsley
I'm
wants
so
to go out and
excited
shoot.
about it. All right. As we go into March Madness, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We're going to have a really fun show in 2 weeks. Stay tuned for that. Aaron Dablow, it is always awesome having you on the show, man.
The
You are-
best.
Thank you,
are
guys.
just a fantastic dude and a wealth of knowledge. And it is fun to pick your brain to watch and kind of watch how you make all the catch custom guitars. And Mike, as always, you're Mike, and we love you.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but yes, I am.
Gabe, good to see you. All right, everybody, we're going to take off. Have a good evening and go have fun doing what you're doing. Peace.
See you, nerds.